This episode of Weekly Weird News is sponsored by HelloFresh and by Manscaped.
Bad news for fans of the Caped Crusader. Batman, the world's greatest detective, has been arrested in Egypt.
Wow.
Shocking. Confusing. I know, especially considering that Batman is a fictional character. And okay, to be clear, the real Batman was not arrested in Egypt because, again, Batman, not real. But several huge fans of The Dark Knight have been arrested in Egypt for planning to bring Batman out of the world of make-believe and into the streets of Cairo, which, as we all know, is basically the Gotham City of North Africa.
Yeah, sure. Obviously, if you're trying to be a real-life Batman, a very important aspect of it is not getting caught by the authorities or working together with them. Or at least one.
Just one.
Commissioner Gordon.
And it's got to be very hush-hush.
Yes, exactly.
He's got to let you punch him in the face just to make it seem like you're more adversarial than you are.
But these Batmen were not looking to deal out vigilante justice. The only heads that they were looking to bash were each other's heads, to see which one of them was truly worthy of the cape and the cowl. And this dispute between these multiple Egyptian Batmen started not in Cairo's back alleys and rooftops, but rather in a Facebook group. Mark Zuckerberg does it again!
Yeah.
Here's Egyptian outlet Amran Online.
It started with a funny Facebook post that went viral, attracting the attention of thousands of Egyptians, generating funny memes across other popular social media networks. It not only attracted young people, but also marketing campaigns and megastars who all spoke about the Battle of Helwan for real Batman, to be held on the 13th of August in the heart of the city of Helwan at 11 p.m. to decide who is the real Batman. According to the internet urban Egyptian legend, it started with a Facebook post from 2 weeks ago when a young man claimed that he was the real Batman in a post. Then his friend replied on the post and said that he was the Batman, not his friend. A third friend replied on the reply and said that he was the true Batman. Then a fourth one came repeating the same claim, and the post ended up with tens of people claiming that they were the real Batman. In the end, there was an agreement that on the 13th of August, all those claiming to be Batman to show up at 11 p.m. outside Helwan metro station for a battle royale till death, till the real Batman defeats all the other Batmen.
Okay, it sounds like what we've got here is Egypt's very own twist on the Storm Area 51 and also the Josh fight, those type of social viral media events. It starts with some jokes and some memes, and eventually bored young men across the nation are making the Batman Battle of Helwan a real thing. The original Facebook page promoting the event is unfortunately now gone, but there's plenty of evidence elsewhere on the internet that this was a very exciting thing for Egyptians online, including memes, fake event posters, TikToks, and plenty of chatter about it on Twitter. And yeah, I mean, sure, the original posters did talk about fighting each other to the death, but come on, as we all know, Batman does not kill.
Yeah, that was actually a trap, because whoever does kill, obviously, they're not the real Batman.
That's the Joker.
You lose.
The Joker, baby.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it sounds like worst case scenario. This is going to be a couple hundred people showing up near the Helwan metro station, all dressed like Batman. And sure, the stench of that many people in bat suits in the scorching Egyptian heat would be bad, but probably no worse than your average San Diego Comic-Con.
We just had Anime Expo here in LA, and if the wind was just right, you could smell it.
Yeah, I saw the cloud coming from downtown Los Angeles.
Weebs!
And yeah, okay, it might have ended up being a little more than a couple hundred since the Facebook group for the event ended up attracting 20,000 members, and the event page itself managed to get 40,000 RSVPs. And, you know, when you RSVP on Facebook, that means you're definitely going.
Yeah, that means everyone who RSVP'd has to go.
It's a matter of honor.
And this has happened numerous times throughout history. It's proven that everyone that clicks that button shows up.
Yeah, and in the Arab world especially, your word is your bond. When you are invited somewhere and you accept, it is a big social faux pas to no show. So there would have been 40,000 Batmen. But yeah, multiple Egyptian celebrities even got in on the fun via social media, declaring themselves the one true Batman. Peace be upon his name.
Yeah.
It was a whole inshallah. It was a whole lot of fun. There was even talk of a real Batwoman competition for the women who wanted to participate, and of course, a lot of people were talking about maybe showing up dressed as the Joker.
Oh no! Yikes.
Oh, this many Batmen in one place?
Just kick dancing down the stairs.
Yeah.
Getting tackled.
Yeah.
And beaten that close to death.
1,000 Batmen versus 1,000 Jokers.
What was that game we used to play? It was like Battle Simulator.
Mugen,
where you could type all that in and it would just like automatically do it.
Yeah. Ultimate Battle Simulator, I think it was.
Yeah, something like that.
That was a fun one.
This would have been a great real life version of that.
Yeah.
So how did this fun, harmless internet trend end up with 4 of the event organizers arrested? I mean, this is Egypt that we're talking about here, and like much of the rest of the Arab world, there's a pretty huge generational gap when it comes to internet culture. When Storm Area 51 was happening, the U.S. military took it seriously, but it never went beyond strongly worded warnings not to actually Naruto run into a highly classified military facility. I mean, they knew it was a dumb,
but really
stupid thing.
But just to be clear, you will be shot.
Yeah.
I know
we're lay the ground rules.
We're all having fun, but we will fucking kill you.
There is a disclaimer.
Yeah.
But have your little internet fun.
Yeah. Just don't cross the line, or you're gonna get domed.
The Egyptian government, on the other hand, was not about to take any chances with potentially thousands of violent masked vigilantes gathering in public. Here's the Egypt Independent.
Security authorities arrested the organizers of the Helwan Real Batman Battle social media on Wednesday. The Ministry of Interior said in a statement that the arrested suspects are behind an invitation to wear a disguise and gather on August 13th in front of the metro station in Helwan for a fight to decide who was the real Batman, according to the Facebook event description. The security services were able to identify and control those responsible for launching this invitation and creating the pages through which the event was promoted on social media. They are 4 people who were found to have exploited the interaction of a number of social media users with the invitation and launched an e-group to promote the aforementioned gathering, the statement said. The suspects took advantage of the high volume of interactions of social media users to launch the event with the aim of exploiting it to achieve financial gains by attracting advertisements, the statement added. Legal measures have been taken against the suspects.
I mean, that's some bullshit.
Yeah.
And the BBC goes into a little more detail about why the Egyptian government took such serious measures to prevent what was essentially just going to be a flash mob. They point out that the event was scheduled to fall just 1 day before the anniversary of a brutal crackdown on protesters in 2013, in which more than 900 people were killed for protesting against a military coup led by Egypt's current president. Since those protests, unauthorized public gatherings of more than 10 people have been banned in Egypt. Still, the fact that the Egyptian government is treating an event where nerds were going to dress up as crime-fighting comic book characters as a threat to their authority is a bit of a self-report. Yeah. Anyways, I hopefully those 4 guys who got arrested don't get in too much trouble, because doing serious time for something like this would be some serious bullshit.
Yeah, it's fucked up. And yeah, it's like, oh, if you don't want like protests against your authoritarian governance, the best strategy would be to not act like an authoritarian government.
Yeah, kind of
arresting Batman fans,
literally telling
for
on
wanting
yourself.
to dress up in public. Come on.
Did they do a perp walk where they ripped their masks off?
I don't know if they were wearing their Batman costumes just on the off chance that the government would bust down their door and arrest them, but yeah, that would be interesting.
You can't arrest me, I'm Batman.
Yeah. Yeah, they should have committed more to the bit. They should have been living in a cave.
Yeah, this wouldn't happen if they were in a cave.
Wouldn't have happened if there was a cave involved.
Yeah, and billions of dollars.
Yeah, that too. Anyway, speaking of Batman, Dr. Jordan Peterson seems to have recently fully committed to the bit of sounding and looking and acting like a Batman villain. Mm-hmm. And he has done so via an excruciatingly long 15-minute video posted to his YouTube channel in which he rants about being suspended from Twitter as if he's Socrates awaiting the death penalty. And in case you are lucky enough to not remember who Jordan Peterson is, the last time he ended up on our radar was for being extremely weird and overdramatic about a plus-size model being one of several cover models for this year's Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue. Here, let me refresh your memory. Sorry, not beautiful, and no amount of authoritarian tolerance is going to change that.
He really does sound like Kermit the Frog.
Yeah, it's like, bro, it's not that deep, man.
Yeah,
it's really not that deep.
The type of person, though, that like all of the inmates at the Arkham Asylum are like, he says a lot of really smart things.
He's like a walking thesaurus.
Yeah, I cleaned up my cell, and it made me feel a lot better.
I cleaned my cell, and now everything's just so much more organized in my life. And now I can focus on what matters to me most, which is escaping from Arkham Asylum and terrorizing the people of Gotham once again.
Yeah. But then I walked by his cell and it's messy. So I don't know what to think.
There was, I think it was Captain America had a plotline a couple of years back where Red Skull became a Jordan Peterson type character with he released a book called The 10 Rules for Life, and he had all these incel young men following his advice. And Jordan Peterson not happy about that.
Well, I'm sure.
Nor were his loyal fans who rise to defend his honor at any given opportunity.
Jordan Peterson is a divisive figure, to say the least. A lot of people really enjoy his self-help books, and a lot of other people think he's a weird, hateful, deeply transphobic, and narcissistic person who regularly speaks with authority on topics well outside of his expertise and treats inconsequential culture war issues as if they're signs of the apocalypse. But hey, the transphobia is what got him suspended from Twitter.
Dang.
Yeah, he posted a tweet in which he's highly critical of trans actor Elliot Page's gender-affirming surgery, and also very deliberately uses Page's former name, aka dead naming, which has been a Twitter TOS violation for a while now.
Yeah, you can't do it, especially when you have like millions of followers.
And with the purpose of getting a specific kind of rise out of someone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And also...
it's harassment, essentially.
I mean, in this case, it's targeted harassment. I don't think Elliot Page is on Twitter, but it is weirdly, like, specifically singling him out as a target of transphobia. But fun little side note, Jordan Peterson has clearly had a hair transplant at some point. Undeniable, which is fine. But it's also literally gender-affirming surgery. So that's just another layer to how much this guy sucks. Gender-affirming surgery for me, but not for thee. But anyway, all Jordan Peterson had to do is delete that specific tweet, which even by transphobe standards was kind of just boilerplate, not really insightful at all. Doesn't really add anything to the transphobia conversation.
Yeah.
But hey, deleting that tweet would be giving in to the woke mob.
So obviously you have to wait until Elon Musk does something more significant with Twitter and then say it was his fault that you got your account back while completely sidelining the fact that you did delete the tweet and that's all you had to do in the first place.
Yeah, Tucker Carlson. Yeah, it was like, Elon Musk, like he, of course,
finally, I'm back.
Still does not own Twitter, but it was like the deal moved forward one little step, and Tucker Carlson's back, and it's like, wow, Elon already brought Tucker back, even though he hasn't bought Twitter, and nothing's really changed. But Elon did it.
Did see a funny tweet about how Twitter is the only thing Elon Musk has ever pulled out of.
The man has 9 kids total now. It would have been 10. One of his kids died, which is very sad. Yeah.
And now him and Nick Cannon are literally high-fiving to each other on Twitter.
And that's when you really got to ask, like, oh man, am I the baddie? Because Nick Cannon is notoriously just like a deadbeat, terrible father.
They're blatantly saying that they are worried about that. Like Elon's tweet was basically
like the birth rates.
Yeah, exactly.
Got to keep the birth rates up. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? No. It's just based on fucking nothing.
Yeah.
Like, the birth rates are unsustainable. It's
Grimes or someone said that he has like a full-on Genghis Khan complex.
Yeah.
But, 9, you better get to work. You pump
those
numbers.
Rookie numbers.
Exactly.
Yeah. But anyway, back to Jordan Peterson, who all he has to do is delete that tweet. But nope, not going to let the woke mob win, which, you know what? Fine. Don't then. Yeah. I don't fucking care.
Stay banished.
In fact, I would argue you are letting the woke mob win by doing what you're doing right now.
They have successfully silenced you.
So I don't have to see your fucking tweets all over the timeline all goddamn day saying all this dumb bullshit. But whatever. Anyway, to fully articulate his thoughts on this whole Twitter ban thing and get the last word, most importantly, Jordan Peterson put on his finest 3-piece suit, hired a camera crew to set up a well-lit 2-camera setup, and for 15 straight minutes just let out all his grievances. Just spewed it all over the memory card.
But how? He's been silenced. How is this possible?
I don't know. It's
to get unquestioned, unresponded to, blocks of time to just air out all of your problems.
Yeah, this man, he was banned from the public square, and yet I'm still seeing his face yelling at me.
No. I mean, we're not going to show the whole thing, of course, but it's definitely a fascinating watch.
Watch it on like 1.5 speed. That's what I did.
No, make him sound drunk. Go down to 0.75.
That's probably
You guys have so many problems.
It'll take like 2 hours, but yeah, that would be a fun way to do it.
Yeah.
You'll probably make a drinking game out of it.
Yeah.
It's a real weird look into the brain of a very unique man.
A lot of it is just Peterson doubling and tripling down on his transphobia and continuing to single out Elliot Page, which, side note, is pretty fucking weird considering Elliot Page has been out as trans for a long time now. And he's also not especially online and does not seem to have said or done anything to specifically set off Peterson's fixation with him. He's just living his best life, and Jordan Peterson can't help but lose his mind over it. It's gotta be like Jordan Peterson was weirdly like sexually attracted
to Juno or
yeah.
And they are both, I believe, Canadian too. So
that's the thing.
That might have something to do with it.
But aside from the transphobia, there's some real, truly unhinged gems in this 15-minute rant about how Twitter is unfair or whatever. So here's just a few select clips.
I've essentially been banned from Twitter unless I delete the hateful tweet in question, and I would rather die than do that. And hopefully it will not come to that, although who the hell knows in these increasingly strange days. The utter carelessness of the Twitter organization with regard to the propriety of its own censorial actions, if I am required to acknowledge that my tweet violated the Twitter rules. What rules, you sons of bitches? Exactly. Remember when pride was a sin? Although that is merely a factual statement, because under the old rules, applicable even a decade ago, pride was a sin and had been recognized as perhaps the cardinal sin for thousands of years previously. Pride Month, not hour or day or week, but month, were those male breasts or female breasts that were removed? If they were male breasts, then why were they removed? With regard to the final phrase, criminal physician, I must say that I've had some post-coital, so to speak, regrets about that phrase. It is clearly the case that the surgical operation performed by the butchers who butchered Elliot/Ellen was legal. So, was it criminal or not? Were the operations undertaken by the fascist physicians who carried out the Nazi medical experiments legal? Yes, under the laws of the time. But were they criminal? I'll leave that question up to you to answer. And I'm not taking down that tweet or acknowledging that my tweet violated the Twitter rules. Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who.
So yeah, I mean, you can see why people immediately started making comparisons to Batman villains, Bond villains, or to the types of video game characters that you see in series like The Elder Scrolls, and especially the Command and Conquer series, which used live action video for its bosses and featured some of the greatest over-the-top acting performances in video game history.
I think so. I didn't see the video. I scrolled by it, but I saw someone put clips of him into a video game cutscene.
Oh yeah.
So
there's a lot of that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just so over the top. It's so good. People have already made a green screen. Someone rotoscoped it, so you can put it anywhere you want.
The internet is quick.
And especially the line, "Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who." That seems to have emerged as the most quoted and most mocked line out of the whole thing, and has of course inspired many edits. So let's just take a look at some of those edits. Here you go.
Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who. Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who.
Your words are as empty as your soul. Mankind ill needs a savior such as you.
Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who. A few days ago, I penned an irritated tweet.
What did you say?
Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who.
What's wrong with you?
Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who. Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who.
Take a benzo and clean your room, you muppet baby bitch.
Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who. Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who. Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who. Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who. Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who.
Objective complete.
Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who. Or acknowledging that my tweet violated the Twitter rules. Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who. Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who. Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who. Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who. Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who.
So that's all just a pure joy. Twitter has had many main characters, and Jordan Peterson himself has been the main character many times. But you rarely ever get to see a main character meltdown immediately continue via another medium after Twitter comes down with the ban hammer. The only other notable case that we can think of was when Baked Alaska got banned after repeated instances of posting Nazi shit and then just live streamed himself wandering out around Burbank for several hours bothering people as he closed in on our location.
Yeah, that was...
Oh, he's getting closer.
That afternoon, didn't get a lot of work done because I think Baked Alaska is a quarter of a mile away from our current location. He's getting closer.
At one point almost like we're like, should we drive by and like yell fuck you to like appear on the live stream?
And then yeah, immediately in his live stream, someone did exactly that.
Yeah, and we couldn't replicate it. It was too good the first time. But yeah, speaking of Baked Alaska, that's a good segue into our next story, which is about something that guys like Baked Alaska probably have a lot of strong opinions about. The Georgia Guidestones.
Oh my God. So the Georgia Guidestones are regarded by some as America's Stonehenge, which is ridiculous. That aside from a vague resemblance, there's very little actually in common. The Stonehenge is extremely old, very mysterious. The Georgia Guidestones, it's kind of just a granite monument that was built in 1980 in Elbert County, Georgia. Mm-hmm. But it was built under somewhat mysterious circumstances.
There you go.
A man going by the pseudonym Robert C. Christian commissioned a local granite company to build the monument, and when the granite company quoted him an exorbitant price to basically get him to fuck off, he went ahead and just paid the price. Sure, sounds great. Yeah. For a timeless monument, money is no object.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not just a bunch of big rocks jutting out of the ground. There's also a bunch of text all over it. And this text, combined with the mysterious origins of the stones, has just been catnip for conspiracy theorists for over 40 years.
The inscriptions on the stone are basically a new kind of 10 commandments for human civilization that seems to have been written by someone who is very into New Age thinking and also very scared about the Cold War. Some have interpreted it as guidelines for restarting human civilization after nuclear war. That's the general consensus on these is it was supposed to be something that would survive the end of modern humanity, and whoever's left can use it as a way to rebuild society.
Yeah, this was like kind of a trend at like the peak of the Cold War was, there's a good chance civilization will be over in our lifetime, so let's try to like build stuff that will survive that, and maybe whoever lives through it and eventually comes across it will be able to use it in some way.
So here's some of the inscriptions. Maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. Guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. Unite humanity with a living new language. Rule passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason. Protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. Let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. Avoid petty laws and useless officials. Balance personal rights with social duties. Prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite. Be not a cancer on the earth. Leave room for nature. Leave room for nature.
All right, so yeah, nothing especially sinister here, but the one about keeping the population below 500 million is a bit odd, considering that the world population was already at 4.5 billion when the stones were erected. But again,
this is for the end of mankind and the rebuilding of it. In the stones mines, there are way less than 500 million people left.
And also on top of the nuclear panic at the time, there was a lot of people who thought that there was like books that came out, like the population bomb, like overpopulation was a thing that a lot of people were worrying about too. So it coincides with that a little bit. It's like, hey, if we get a do-over of all this, maybe keep the numbers a little lower next time.
And I mean, the apocalypse has been predicted throughout various religions multiple times over the years. Like every other couple of years, it's like, by the way, humanity's supposed to completely end right now. Like 2012 was the most recent. But
Those
instead,
damn
we got
Mayans.
Coney instead.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's also the line about settling international disputes in a world court. And this is starting to sound like a new world order. I mean, it's
back off, globalists.
There's also like the selective breeding note in this, where it's just like, all right, sounds a little bit like eugenics there, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, look, a lot of this is sus, but it's just some weird shit.
Yeah.
In the middle of nowhere in Georgia.
It's still not a whole lot to go off of, but that's the beauty of it. That's what makes it fascinating to people. Conspiracy weirdos have had a whole lot of blanks to fill in when it comes to the Georgia Guidestones, and over the years it's become an obsession for people who view it as a satanic monument to the Antichrist, rather than just some weird little public art project that some weirdo had built in the 80s.
Yeah, people are obsessed with this, and it involves my favorite like conspiracy fallacy, which is like, if someone was really doing something this sinister, why would they just put it out in public for everyone to look at? There's no fucking reason for a supposed New World Order to announce their plans on a fucking piece of stone
and go down to the local granite company and be like, yeah, here's all of my information.
It's like the people who find like hidden symbols. It's like, why would they hide a symbol there for you to find? This isn't a fucking video game. This is real life. Why would they just hide the truth in plain sight? And that's like, they're mocking us. That's why.
That's because everyone wants to feel really smart. I mean, there's a lot of this plays into the, I hate bringing it up when it's not already brought up, but the cryptocurrency community, they love fucking games like this. That's the entire basis of like why, for whatever reason, the Bored Ape thing was like fun, because they were just doing puzzles about like why.
Yeah. Those puzzles were kind of cool. I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like, the real evil people aren't like the fucking Riddler. Like, they're not giving Batman all the clues on how to stop them. They're just being evil.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, the reason we're talking about those Georgia Guidestones is they don't fucking exist anymore. Someone blew it the fuck up this past week.
Yeah, now it's our gavel good. If they rebuild it, someone else is just going to come by.
They should build it 10 feet higher.
And make it out of straw.
Yeah. Here's the Daily Beast. Part of a Georgia monument despised by right-wing conspiracy theorists was reduced to rubble on Wednesday morning by an explosion, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation said. The bomb attack targeted the Georgia Guidestones, a set of mysterious 19-foot-tall tablets inscribed with messages that appear to offer advice on how humanity should recover from an apocalyptic event. Pictures of the site on social media appeared to show that one of the monument's 4 main tablets had been destroyed in the bombing. The blast was carried out by unknown individuals around 4 a.m., according to the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. A local TV station reported that nearby residents heard an explosion-like sound around the same time.
Oh, well, thanks for doing that bit of journalism, local TV station.
Did you hear? They heard it, so it was an explosion.
The article goes into some of the Guidestones' recent attention from the American far right. Alex Jones reacted to the attack on a Wednesday broadcast of his online show, saying he appreciated the image of the bombed-out monument on an animal level. But criticized the destruction itself. Quote, "We need that evil edifice there as a confession letter led by a consortium of eugenicists," Jones said. While the Guidestones were targets of an on and off criticism from pastors for decades, fearful that they would become the site of satanic worship, the attacks on the Guidestones reached a new fervor in the past decade. Candace Taylor, a former far-right Republican gubernatorial candidate, tried to turn the Guidestones into a campaign issue before her primary defeat earlier this year. Taylor recorded a video of herself driving to Elberton to confront the Guidestones and vowed to issue an executive order, if elected, to order them destroyed. Taylor appeared to welcome the bombing in a tweet on Wednesday. Quote, "God is God all by himself," Taylor tweeted. "He can do anything he wants to. That includes striking down satanic Guidestones and slipping into my room at 2 o'clock in the morning. Come on, God, you can do anything.
God can do anything.
Ravage me, oh Lord."
But I love that this gubernatorial candidate, like on their website, like the platforms, is like, get critical race theory out of schools, make transgender people kill themselves, all the typical stuff, but then blow up the Georgia Guidestones.
Yes.
Finally.
Uh-huh.
The only candidate brave enough to blow up the Georgia Guidestones. I think they should probably start investigating her first.
Marjorie Taylor Greene's been on one this week too because of the shooter on Monday.
Oh yeah,
reposting like clearly photoshopped stuff. Like,
yeah,
this doesn't look like a bedroom to me. You fucking moron.
Yeah, she loves posting disinformation. It is odd that she's just allowed to keep doing it. But anyway, back to those stones. This is not the first time the Guidestones have been targeted by vandals. It happens a lot. But instead of graffiti about the New World Order or whatever, this time they were successful at just getting rid of the Georgia Guidestones entirely. Only one of the pillars was destroyed in the bombing, but for safety reasons, the entire structure has now been demolished. So take that, Satan. Take that, globalists. Take that, Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah.
Take that, M&Ms.
And everything
Take
bad.
that, Buzz Lightyear.
All the horrific history that took place in the state of Georgia.
Yeah, this is the
was
worst.
Immediately gone.
Yeah. This was clearly the worst monument in all the state of Georgia. Now that the Guidestones are gone, Georgia is just completely unstained by, offensive, morally repugnant monuments to awful things.
Hey, what a beautiful, smooth mountain. Wait, what's that carved in the side of it? Oh my God! Oh.
Yeah, Stone Mountain doesn't get enough attention. I didn't even know about that till a couple years ago. I was like, wow, this is fucking ridiculous. This is insane.
I think the first time I went to the laser light show at Stone Mountain was when I was 7. And they do the whole story.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking wild.
Yeah, and there's partying, and I believe at the time it was narrated by Travis Tritt.
Hell yeah, bro.
I didn't know this, but it is true. You can hike up Stone Mountain.
Oh.
Yeah, it's got a long back. But you could also do the easy way and just take the gondola up.
Oh, there's a gondola.
But make sure you stick around for that laser light show.
Does it fly into Robert E. Lee's nostril?
Yeah. Anyways, speaking of right-wing politics in this lovely country of ours, elections are, of course, coming up in just a few months, and Arizona Governor Doug Ducey is on his way out due to term limits. So Arizona Republicans, they're vying for the opportunity to replace him and continue his legacy. And PBS recently hosted a debate between these candidates, and someone on Twitter actually sat through the whole thing and compiled a nice little highlight reel of what went down. Have a look.
They closed my business down. But you know what? I didn't listen. I kept it open. You didn't have to listen, people. You didn't have to listen.
I'd actually like to ask everybody on this stage if they would agree we had a corrupt, stolen election. Raise your hand. Never happened.
HB 2289.
Hold on. Let her finish, please, Scott.
Okay. God, they talk over me and I'm Italian. That shouldn't happen. You know what?
I'm Irish.
Okay. You know what? Why not get high-tech people that are going to be on the machines that are Republicans? A Democrat, Republican, get supervisors, equal amount.
That happens. We have parties looking over
that's
election
right.
results.
They're doing it now.
No, they're
actually telling
They
people
have
that 200,000 minimum ballots were trafficked by mules.
No.
An honest election.
May I finish? Mamma mia.
I feel like I'm on an SNL skit here. Are we going to take control of the debate?
We are taking, no, Carrie, I don't want you to try to
I'm happy to do it.
I know you would be happy to do it.
Listen, I haven't been on a stage with this many women since I've been to a baby shower. It's been a while.
I don't know how that's going to go over, Scott, but we'll let that hang. Let's talk about...
What?
Do you think Republican voters want a candidate who doesn't even believe in the vote?
I don't believe this primary has been fair. I can tell you that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have launched the lawsuit.
Our campaign is a movement. We're going to show up and vote in droves. They're going to have to cheat even harder in order to try to win this.
Your campaign's a psyop.
Paula, please.
First of all, put everything...
Paula,
I feel like this is a spoof, honestly.
Go ahead. Finish what you were saying, please.
Oh,
Is this a spoof, Ted?
No, it's not. Finish what
Are you
you're
sure?
saying. Yes, I am.
Wow. Okay.
I'm pro-life from conception to death. And I believe...
No exceptions for rape or incest?
Well, that's a gray area. I don't know. That's a personal decision for a person.
Well, why can't we treat human life in the same way that we would treat alien life that we discovered on an alien planet?
There's a reason we don't always invite Scott, because he's polling at 0%.
No, 1%.
And this is what happens
but the polls lie.
Scott, please. And no, you can't respond to a closing statement.
The only kind of drag I've ever dressed in is a business suit or construction work clothes. I've never aspired to be Elvis Presley.
That's a shame.
All right, that's it. That's it.
Never been to Hollywood
That's it.
already?
Absolutely.
Wow, they really got top minds on the case.
Another reason that PBS is a wonderful institution.
A public service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They provided a platform.
Yeah, and Wyoming also had... They had their Senate, I think, debates.
Look,
recently.
I'm not a fan of Liz Cheney, obviously, but when Liz Cheney is the sole brain trust on stage, it is surreal to see.
Yeah, it is understandable why people who aren't completely plugged in would think people like Liz Cheney and Mitt Romney are decent when you stand them next to the fucking craziest people in the country who are also trying to have that same level of political power. It's
Mitt Romney wrote like a whole article this week in like The Atlantic or something that was, it was a very like moderate centrist article, but it's like your party is responsible for the things that you're actually like complaining about individuals participating in.
Also, Romney and Cheney have pretty terrible views, but they get a lot of points from a lot of basic ass libs for just not being evil.
Yeah.
In that specific way that a lot of their colleagues are.
Yeah. Anyways, we got the headlines half of this show to get to, but first, let's thank today's sponsors, starting with HelloFresh.
HelloFresh.
With HelloFresh, you get farm-fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip those trips down to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit. Choose from at least 55 weekly options featuring pre-portioned, high-quality ingredients picked at peak ripeness. HelloFresh delivers fresh, quality produce from the farm to your door in less than a week, so you can savor summer flavors right from home.
Select meals from the Taste of Summer series that are sure to become everyone's new favorites, like the Old Bay Shrimp and Sausage Boil and family-style grilled steak lettuce wraps. And bust out the grill on a nice warm evening to make dinner from HelloFresh's Cookout collection with recipes like melty Monterey Jack burgers.
One of our favorite things about HelloFresh is getting to choose meals that are quick and easy to make, with some coming in at just 20 minutes and still being totally delicious. So go to HelloFresh.com/weeklyweird16 and use code weeklyweird16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 free gifts. Again, that is up to 16 free meals and 3 free gifts by going to HelloFresh.com/weeklyweird16 and using that code weeklyweird16.
And this episode is sponsored by Manscaped. Hey, you! Yeah, you! Got bush?
That's my bush!
You certainly do got bush if you haven't tried the best products from our sponsor today, Manscaped. Taking control of your bush is important. These products are so good, you're going to be showing pride in your new bush-free yard. It's a fact that you will have the best-kept nutsack on the cul-de-sac.
Love the copy.
Save big and be the most hygienic version of yourself by using our discount code WEIRDNEWS for 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com.
Whether you're looking to go bald like an eagle or just in need of a safe trim, Manscaped is dedicated to helping you level up your full body grooming game with the Performance Package 4.0. Inside the package is the Lawnmower 4.0. This electric trimmer is a bush's worst nightmare. Designed to reduce grooming accidents and shave hair on loose skin thanks to a ceramic blade and advanced skin-safe technology. No need for the night vision goggles. This trimmer has an LED light to allow you to mow the lawn in the dark. It's basic landscaping. When you trim the hedges, the tree stands taller. Now, the second best tool in the performance package is the Weed Whacker. This fine-tuned nose and ear hair trimmer will make sure your nasty nose pubes are under control and instantly add some pep in your step with the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant and the Crop Reviver Spray-On Testy Toner.
With a Performance Package purchase, you get 2 free gifts, the Shed Travel Bag and the patented high-performance reduced chafing Manscaped Boxers. They have a bunch of other products on their website to help you maximize your confidence in grooming game. Get 20% off plus free shipping with our code WEIRDNEWS at manscaped.com. Kate Bush may be trending at the moment, but your bush needs some help. That's 20% off. 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use our code WEIRDNEWS. It's time to level up from the Amazon to the Amadong with the ultimate bushwhacking tools from Manscaped. Wow.
Time to make a deal with God.
Yeah, it's time for us now to run up that hill to the headlines half of the show. Starting with some news from over in the UK. What's happening over there?
Oh, yeah, UK's been in the news a little bit.
Boris Johnson's Madame Tussauds waxwork appears outside Job Centre in Blackpool as PM quits as Tory leader.
So yeah, this happened like before we filmed. This week's a little bit spread out because I'm going out of town. But yeah, this happened like right before we filmed there, or the morning of, where Boris Johnson just resigned after years of buffoonery.
Yeah.
And the thing that finally did him in was someone in his political circle.
Some guy named Pincher
Yeah.
was apparently
Pinching
getting
butts.
a little grabby with a lot of dudes in the Tory party.
Mm-hmm.
And Johnson knew about it and just ignored it. And I still don't fully understand. It sounds like it was just sort of, this was the straw that broke the camel's back. The people of Britain and the people of the Conservative Party, they've put up with Boris Johnson's bullshit for long enough. And this one was just one too many. And, like this whole week is just like every day, it's just like dozens of his cabinet people leaving. It's like to the point where he's the only person running the entire government.
There was like a ticker at some point where it was like it would change whenever a new name would resign. It was crazy.
So
But,
he's like, all right, fine. I get it. I get what you're trying to say. So I quit. Not right now though. How about like October? Just to give you all time. They're like, no, quit now. We want you out now. It's like, okay, but like, you got to understand, I'm planning this like really sick wedding party down at the PM's mansion.
Mm-hmm.
It's the place you get to live when you're the prime minister. If I quit now, I don't get the mansion. I can't have the party there. I got to throw it somewhere else. It's
I already
not going
put
to be
the
as cool.
deposit down on the catering.
Yeah,
so, you know how
so
it goes.
like, I don't want to have to call up all these vendors. Just let me stay in the job. I promise I'll leave. But
it would have been even better if like at a podium, either in front of or inside 10 Downing Street, he just comes out in normal clothes, his hair all disheveled with tea. Oh, no questions about the resignation, but I do want to offer you some tea.
But even his resignation speech, which again, not actually a resignation speech, just a I'm planning to resign speech, he seemed utterly jolly.
Yeah.
Well, it seems that everybody who hates me and wants me to leave the job. Oh, bother. Well, them's the breaks.
Yes. And the general consensus that I've seen online and in interviews, with man on the street interviews, seems to be joy that he is now gone.
I mean, the fact that Madame Tussauds had his waxwork out on the street within a day of the news, and they just put a sign in his current spot being like, this exhibit is vacant. But they put him right outside of a job center where people, because in the UK, the unemployed actually have a government resource to find a job.
Mm-hmm.
That would be nice. But yeah, they put him outside of that because he's out of a job. And because it's a waxwork, it's just in that weird uncanny valley where it
Well, I'm sure it's
kinda
even
looks
worse
like him.
sitting out in the sun.
Yeah, it's probably melting.
Uh-huh. Moving on, mold and bugs in burgers at Russia's McDonald's substitute spark outrage.
Yeah, and I guess they changed their mind on calling it Uncle Vanya's. It's something else. It's in Russian now it's called like Tasty and that's it. Or something like that.
It's not good for you, but it'll
It's
taste good
tasty
briefly.
and that's all you get. But yeah, people are finding like cricket legs.
That's good protein.
Finding mold all over their bread.
It's just a different kind of spice.
Say what you will about McDonald's, but they do have a pretty robust quality control systems in place.
Well, and as we've seen with the Icelandic McDonald's, their food will not rot.
Yeah, I mean, they do design this food to, much like the Georgia Guidestones,
Survive anything.
Survive anything and be there waiting for civilization.
Yeah.
Hundreds of years down the line.
Mm-hmm.
But those Russian Big Mac fans, they're especially pissed because there's no Big Mac on this menu.
That sucks. And in Russia, you kind of have to be blindly patriotic about it and be like, no, actually, the Russian burger's better.
It's actually better.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you, Vladimir Putin, for replacing that Western McDonald's crap with Tasty and that's it.
Yeah.
Because that's all we need is Tasty.
Mm-hmm. And here we call it just dressing.
Yeah, that's right. Giant concrete eating snails trigger Florida quarantine.
You think giant, and they are big.
They're pretty fucking big.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not like the size of a
exactly.
Volkswagen.
Yeah, you hear giant snail and you're like, whoa.
I mean, they do in Africa in their natural environment. They can grow to be like
the ones in Florida are like
huge.
they're pretty big.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, how much damage could a snail do? It moves like at the speed of a snail, and like the headline says, they can apparently eat concrete, which is
they're just
wild.
reclaiming the earth.
Yeah, they just devour everything in their path, and they carry a whole bunch of diseases. So it's bad. So they got to get rid of these snails.
Intrusive or
yeah, they're African giant snails.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because that's like I know that the big problem in Florida specifically right now is everyone just over the years has released like boa constrictors or pythons.
Yeah.
Into just like shit. I'm just gonna, you know what? Reptiles exist in the Everglades. I'm just gonna go toss this reptile in the Everglades, and now it's completely destroying the ecosystem there.
Yeah, Florida's a state, a very delicate ecosystem. that is also extremely accommodating to invasive species. And well, thank God the government and the people of Florida take this issue seriously and are all in on protecting their environments, their coastlines.
It is a miracle that they were able to slide like the Everglades in as a national park before it was too late.
Yeah.
Because that would have all been condos. Like, it is prime.
Just fill it with sand. Who cares?
Yeah, it would have been like, I mean, Lake Okeechobee is already like not great as far as you know, I think it's like sugar there or something. Like, it gets into the water and then it comes out into the Gulf and creates.
That sounds bad.
Red tide. The red tide has been worse over the past 20 years than it's ever been, and kind of ruins everything because Florida's entire economy is built on travel and leisure.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a tropical paradise.
My lungs are burning.
The only tropical paradise here in the lower 48. It's a destination. Don't swim there. Do not swim in that shit over there. You will get sick.
And by that shit over there, we mean the entire Gulf of Mexico.
Do not touch that snail. You will get meningitis.
And please stop releasing your exotic pets into the Everglades.
Are iguanas even native to Florida, or is that another one?
Well, they certainly freeze and then fall on people's heads, causing injury. So
yeah,
but I don't know if they're native or not. It's hard to tell.
They have fucking panthers down there.
Though it is attached to the United States, it is like a tropical.
Yeah.
Tropical place. A lot of crazy shit.
It's got its own biome.
Yeah. In our version of the Bigfoot smells bad. He's called the skunk ape.
Skunk ape.
Yeah. Too much humidity.
Yeah.
No deodorant.
It's worse than Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Florida man poses as Disney security guard, steals R2-D2 statue, deputies say.
This is actually even funnier because the excuse that he gave for doing this was that he was trying to prove that Disney's security protocols weren't up to snuff. So
he was doing pen testing, penetration testing. Well, as you can see, you guys, your security is not up to snuff. So that's where I come in.
Yeah. Hi, a security specialist.
It's a very great excuse. But I mean, he does have a point. Like, all he did was put on a fucking vest and just waltz in. And he stole like a bunch of stuff that seems like it should be hard to steal.
This actually came out recently that the R2-D2, the controller of it, is someone incognito. Like, they are dressed as a tourist with like a backpack and everything, and they're like, it looks like they're taking a picture of it, but they're controlling the R2-D2 with the phone that they're holding.
Why don't they just put a little person in it like before? This is what Jordan Peterson...
Taking all the jobs.
Jordan Peterson's right. The woke mob has taken so many things away from us, like putting little people, putting dwarves inside of a trash can.
In a sweltering conditions.
And having a control R2-D2.
Yeah.
Look what they've taken from us. We need to
Instead,
return.
it's just some dude with a backpack on.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is, it's like, if you didn't know that, that's like that like came out, someone spotted him or whatever, and now of course it's a thing where people take pictures of it. But like, yeah, you can't just steal R2-D2. There's someone literally controlling it right there.
There's someone in there. It's kidnapping, actually.
Well, that would be a much more severe charge.
Yeah. They should get that guy from Kazakhstan or whatever, that little guy.
Oh, yeah. I can't remember his name. After that Barstool video, that was kind of the peak of his career.
Yeah.
So.
Well, anyway.
Yeah. 2 men catch fire at Gwyneth Paltrow's Goop store in the Hamptons.
What is with this company and things catching on fire? First, it was those vagina candles exploding.
These products have not been approved by the FDA.
Catching fire up in the Hamptons?
Yeah.
And the reason they gave was did not make sense. It's how, those little like burners they use, like catering companies use them.
Yeah. Oil burner.
Yeah. So they had those in the store for some reason. Maybe they're having a party. I don't know. But someone decided that it wasn't burning hot enough and poured rubbing alcohol on it. And it went poof and caught 2 men on fire.
Nothing better than a flame you can't see.
Yeah.
It feels like I'm on fire, but I can't see it.
That makes me smart.
Yeah.
Utah Republican apologizes for saying women can control intake of semen. And this was a woman who said it too, because you can always count on conservative women.
She's like, yeah, I do my Kegels.
Yeah.
Ladies out there not doing enough Kegels.
Yeah, and then like she came back the next day after everyone was dunking on her. She's like, okay, well, yeah, I know about like rape. That's not what I was talking about though. And also like rape's illegal in Utah, so
no one has to worry.
What's the big deal?
Yeah.
But
I thought she was literally talking about how like she had perfected. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Ain't nothing getting in that don't want to get in.
And then she came back to apologize because like the night after, like her husband was like, oh yeah? Get a load of this. And she got pregnant.
Yeah. Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Owned.
Yeah. More than 10 million bees released when semi-truck crashes on Utah highway.
You know, the human body has a way of, you know, controlling its intake of millions of bees.
Yeah.
The state of Utah, you know, why is it my job if the state of Utah can't control its intake of millions of bees?
God works in mysterious ways, and this was obviously payback for this woman being a horrific bitch.
Yeah, it's a plague.
Yeah.
And yeah, apparently it was a real mess, you know, 10 million bees. They said there was honey all over the highway. The driver who crashed, like he got, you know, instinctively got out and was immediately swarmed by all the bees he'd been transporting. He got stung a bunch. And then they called the local beekeepers who knew exactly what to do. They started combing the area. They found the bees and they
found the queen?
Manually.
Or did they bring their own queen?
Luckily, I brought my own queen.
Yeah.
I love that lady.
Yeah. All you
just
need
walking
is
around with a queen bee in her pocket just in case she comes across a beehive.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
Oregon driver in stolen car hits second driver in stolen car, police say. So someone stole a car from like a dealership or something. They were being chased by the cops. It was a chase. The chase ended when they crashed into another car. The police showed up and they're like, all right, we got him. Also, by the way, you know, just for police records, just so you can give this to your insurance company, that car's pretty banged up. So let's go ahead and get that information from you as well, so we can, you know, make sure that that bumper gets replaced. And ooh, what do we have here? Oh,
and I would have gotten away with it too. If it wasn't for this car thief who crashed into me.
Yeah, yeah. What you got? That's got to suck. You stole a car, you got away with it, everything's going great, and then what happens? Taken down by one of your own kind.
Mm-hmm. Beer made from recycled toilet water wins admirers in Singapore.
Yeah, Singapore's got not a lot of fresh water because of where it is. So they're coming up with ways to filter
You can treat that water.
Yeah, they're
and
coming
the
up.
alcohol would potentially kill anything else.
Well, they've come up with some crazy water treatment process that creates perfectly normal water from their sewage. And they realize they're like, we need to get this shit up and running in the next couple years before things get really bad. So the way we're going to market this for now is just sell it in certain products so people can be like, you know what? I tried it and it wasn't that bad. I think I will drink the poop water.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so they got this beer. Apparently it's good. So the interviews, like some people were like, yeah, it's great. I'd get it again. Other people were like, it was fine, but if, you know, as long as I have the option of like sewage beer or not sewage beer, I'm probably just going to go with the not sewage beer. Just, you know.
Let's see, they got 17 rotating taps. One of them's shit water.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, one place.
Yeah, but we probably need something like that here.
Yeah.
We don't have water. It's bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's very bad. And final headline. Ezra Miller bizarrely offers to knock out retail worker in resurfaced TikTok video.
That's an option I present people always. And always just knock you out, and then you won't have to panic.
Right, you just gotta knock people out.
Just let me know.
Yeah.
No? Yes?
What?
It's such a weird video too, because he seems like pretty excited, like, yeah, I can fucking knock you out if I want. Like, if you want me to do that,
yeah,
like, if this is what you please.
It's from 2020 too, apparently. The person who took it just waited until now to post it, but it looks like it's in some sort of hardware store, and the person filming is working there, and they see Ezra Miller. And
2020 was the year that the assault at the bar happened.
Yeah. And Ezra Miller is like talking about like, I can knock you out. Some people want me to, you know, some people like it when I knock them out. And
I like doing it.
It's fucking weird.
Yeah.
And the guy filming is just like, what? And yeah, it's the last anyone ever saw.
A big Flash fan.
This is, wow, my hero. I love DC Comics.
Well, as we say, he is done at Warner Brothers.
They are done at Warner Brothers.
Sorry, they are done at Warner
Brothers. And you're
Brothers.
done at Internet Today.
Yeah, sorry.
The woke mob strikes again. Go record your video.
Sorry, they are done at Warner Brothers.
Don't apologize. Don't take it back. That would be letting the woke mob win.
I'm gonna do 15 minutes in the timeout.
Put on your best three-piece suit. Set up the cameras and the lights. Just go off.
I'm sorry. Anyways, that's it for this week's episode of Weekly Weird News. Please check out our most recent episodes. We got the Zucker Weeb.
Yeah.
Zuckerberg going around the office with a katana. And also our video on the 4th of July.
What a day.
It's certainly been a week. Anyways, thank you for joining us. Please subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.